It's about that time of day again. My name is Joseph. It's Monday evening already, July the 31st. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter. We're covering crude oil, S&P, gold, euro, and DAX tonight. Crude is bullish with a strong spike higher, telling us to watch for traps down to the battle zone and a retest of the high tomorrow. Watching for a possible spike in channel on crude here tomorrow. The S&P is range bound, sitting right in the middle of the range. So our plan is to stay patient and fade the edges of the range tomorrow. Gold is bullish with a spike in range, telling us to focus on failures below the low of the range using the price action gaps for entries and exits. Got two great clues on gold, setting it up for tomorrow. Euro's bullish and trying to reach the 19,000 round number, but a grind break earlier in today's session is telling us to wait for a deep pullback for the most reliable buying opportunities on tomorrow, right? Look for that grind break in the euro. Stay tuned for that in a few moments. And of course, the FDAX, the DAX is bearish, but we're sitting at major support, so looking for selling opportunities up in the battle zone overhead, or a successful breakout pullback to new lows tomorrow. Boy, that DAX has really performed well over the past few weeks for you guys. We are ready to wrap up what has been a great month of July, and I'll tell you, I'm not going to miss July one bit because we've got August coming right around the corner. We're going to start turning the corner here into the fall trading session, and remember, the fall, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, and March are the best times to be a trader, right? You gotta be loving, right, the lifestyle of a trader here coming in the next few weeks here. So really excited about a great plan for the month of March. Before we jump in and put the plan together for tomorrow, the first day of March, I do want to remind you, the only place to watch the full-length version of this video is on our blog here at sidewaysmarkets.com. If you're watching the video right now on our YouTube channel, not to worry, there's a link in the description of the YouTube video. Follow that link. Come join me here at the blog at Sideways Markets for the full-length version, all 5 markets, and all the analysis you'll need for tomorrow. Now, while you're here, don't forget, join the mailing list. I'll send you an email every evening when the nightly newsletter goes live. Follow me on social, lower left-hand corner. Pick whatever your favorite flavor of social media is these days. Follow me throughout the week for charts, links, and updates throughout the week. And don't forget to grab those charts. Lower left-hand corner there, right below the video tonight. Grab the charts. All the charts from tonight's video, you can have them ready on your computer for tomorrow's session. How easy is that? And I'll tell you right now, if you do one thing besides watch this video, make sure you grab that free pass in the upper right-hand corner. I keep getting great feedback this week from you guys about that free pass. As I always remind you, you're going to learn more with me in 90 minutes on that free pass than you will anywhere else on the interwebs. I can pretty much guarantee you that. And don't forget, if you have any questions about the who, what, where, when, and why, I got a great frequently asked questions page on our website to get to know more about who I am, what I'm all about, how I trade, what I trade, etc., etc. All right, let's dig in. You guys have some valuable time here. I want to waste that valuable time. Let's dig right in. Tonight, jumping into our schedule here for tomorrow, and then of course we'll jump into those charts here. Now, first of all, let's go a little bit up here a little bit. Tomorrow, of course, being the first day of the month. Now, we talked about this last week, right? At the end of the month, we start getting a little bit of a kick up in volatility, right? We've seen that quite a bit over the past 72, 96 hours, right? End of the month, we always expect to see a little bit more volatility. Tomorrow is the beginning of the month, and the beginning of the month, it's not usually going to be as dramatic as the end of the month because there isn't as much psychology involved, but you will notice middle morning on the first of the month, of course, Tuesday, right? We don't oftentimes have a Tuesday be the first of the month, right? Seems kind of odd, but bottom line is usually about middle of the morning, right? So 9:30 to 11 tomorrow morning, we usually see what kind of feels like a bit of a rebalancing. And what that means is that traders who are padding their numbers to finish up the month of July, right? They'll now be putting new positions on, right, in the month of August. Okay, so keep in mind on that. We're not out of the woods yet for that kick up of that volatility, right? But tomorrow should be kind of the peak of it, right? Middle to late afternoon as we go into, again, as what I said earlier, is really the best time of the year to be a trader. We turn that corner from July, from summertime. Now the kids are starting to see the date on the calendar going back to school, right? The parents are saying hallelujah, right? And of course, everybody's right getting back at their desks and getting back to trading here. This week's going to be a big one as we turn that corner. Now, speaking of this week, right? So first of the month is tomorrow. That, of course, means the first Friday of the month, right? As long as the first day of the month is on a Friday, is going to be the employment number. So that means non-farm Friday, right? Non-farm payroll Friday is right around the corner. Now, that's not going to mean much for tomorrow or Wednesday, but it will start impacting us on Thursday and Friday. So keep that on your radar as we go later on into the week. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to non-farm Friday. Tomorrow, of course, first of the month. Look at a peppering tomorrow. They're not wasting any time here. A peppering here tomorrow morning, 2 o'clock, 3:50, 3:55. If you trade in the London session tomorrow, you definitely want to be aware of a peppering, right, of scheduled news, right? And of course, right, I'm sure there's always going to be some overnight news here as well that'll be unexpected as well. So keep your eyes and ears open on that. We then scroll down a little bit here. No, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Quite a bit of news here tomorrow. We then move to the 5 o'clock GDP flash from the ECB, and of course we then run into personal income at 8:30 a.m. before jumping down to the manufacturing index at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So if you're trading London tomorrow, be aware around 3 to 4 a.m. you get that peppering of news tomorrow. 5 a.m. should be right a block of news as well. And then if you're with me tomorrow in the trade room, we open up at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and we've got 8:30 news and 10 a.m. news. I always love it when we get some news early and news relatively late in the morning. I'll take 8:30 news and 10 o'clock news every day of the week, so bring it on. Tomorrow, of course, is a Tuesday, so don't forget tomorrow afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, we'll hear from the API number. If you're a crude trader like I am, right, so we'll be watching that API number tomorrow night. I'm going to come back tomorrow night, though, and I'll tell you how to use, right, that API level for Wednesdays, right, for Wednesday's session. So, again, don't forget tomorrow morning, expect an increase, maybe not an increase from where we are right now, but expect to see this volatility continue to develop more into tomorrow, right? I'm not expecting this thing to go flat here just because it's the first of the month, right? I'm expecting that to trail over into tomorrow's session. Again, a peppering of news tomorrow in London. We got 8:30 and 10 o'clock news tomorrow in the U.S. And tomorrow afternoon, if you're a crude trader, keep your eyes on that 4:30 p.m. API number, and we'll talk more about that in tomorrow night's newsletter. Don't forget, I know I've covered a lot here so far. You don't need to do this on your own. I got a game plan for you. I give all of my clients all the software, all the templates, all the cheat sheets, all the worksheets, the entire copy of my trading plan. You can learn more about that stuff on our website at schooloftrade.com, right? Join our free trial and come out and join me, right, in the trade room tomorrow morning as an advanced member, and we'll do it all together. All right, enough chit chat here. Let's jump into some charts. Now that you guys know what to expect here the rest of the week, and we'll keep coming back to that as we go into the rest of the week's newsletters here as well. Let's start with crude oil, S&P, gold, euro, and of course we'll wrap up with what has been one of the best performers here of the quarter, right? And that has been the FDAX. Starting off tonight here with the crude oil, the black gold, the Texas T. Crude is bullish, just a little bit bullish, with a strong spike higher to finish today's session, which will most likely develop either into a spike in channel or a spike in range tomorrow. Now, no matter which situation we get, the main objective for the buyers will be to buy as low as possible and get a target back up to retest the high. Now, the ideal scenario would be a deep pullback all the way down below the big round number, down around that prior high of day into the battle zone. Perhaps using this rising support trend line and then rotating back up to retest the high. Most important thing right now on this chart is this very, very strong, and again, I mentioned this last week and we'll talk about more this week, end of the month, right? Last day of the month, a lot of unwinding of positions for the most part, just to make sure their numbers to finish the month of July look good for their clients, right? That's really what happens at the end of the month. Traders take bigger risks at the end of the month. And so again, we saw that kind of unravel here today just before right, the market closed. Probably because a lot of sellers finally had to kind of bite the bullet here and realize they were on the wrong side of this market. I'm sure a lot of sellers have really been frustrated by this move higher over the past few weeks. That's why I always tell you guys, trade what you see, not what you think. And if you traded what you think, oh boy, you're pinched on the wrong side of this market right now. So that's probably a little bit of short covering, right, happening here to finish up the month of July. Bottom line though, whatever the case may be, we had a strong bull, right, strong bull run. A strong bull run, the main objective is to get this price down low so we can buy it and then retest back up at that high. That is the simple nuts and bolts strategy that pretty much every buyer is going to be following tomorrow. There's a couple variations of that. You know, what if price goes higher without pulling back, right? We'll still be looking for that nice deep pullback and do it again. So the bottom line is we want to try to find a way to stay patient, buy nice and low, right? I know we want to buy low. What would that look like here for tomorrow? Well, we may see a couple different scenarios here. Here are two things you want to be thinking about here for tomorrow. One would be a spike end channel. So pulls back, retests the high, and if I draw this trend line across the high here, notice how it kind of creates kind of a hidden channel, right? That hidden channel, that would be kind of a hidden, right, spike in channel. So one scenario here would be kind of a spike in channel higher, right? That is one scenario we're watching for tomorrow, right? And again, we're going to look to buy as low as possible there. The second scenario would be where it pulls back, but it doesn't make a new higher high. It kind of ends up trading inside of a trading range, right? That'll be the second scenario that we're probably, we definitely may see tomorrow, right? One of two scenarios, either a spike in channel, right? A spike in range. There is always the potential here. We may pull back, unable to retest that high, and this may become a spike and flag, right? We talked about flag patterns last week on the newsletter, right? So that's an option as well. So there are definitely some scenarios here that we want to be prepared for. Again, the ultimate goal is wait for a nice deep dip and get that target going back up to retest the high. So first scenario, right? First scenario, spike in channel. With a spike in channel, what we're looking for here is some way to get a trap low, right? Some little trap low below a prior swing here, right? So we can buy that dip, right? Again, try to buy nice and low, target now going back up to retest the high. What about a spike in range, right? Price pulls back, retest the high, right? Spike in range, same thing. I want to buy down below that low, right? Buy below the low of that range, back up, right, to retest that high. How about a flag pattern? What does a flag look like? A flag would look like this, and flags are always tough because flags aren't reversals, right? But you got to really focus on buying nice and low, right? Really got to buy the low of that channel. Remember though, when it comes to a flag, remember the rule of threes, 1, 2, 3, right? That's really common with flag patterns. And don't forget too, when it comes to a flag pattern, you almost want to see that thing overshoot. 1, 2, overshoot, right? Kind of overshoot the low of that channel. That way you get a nice deep, right? That way basically you're not selling into that, or sorry, buying into that falling resistance trend line, right? That trend line coming down overhead. So again, we got a couple scenarios here we're watching here for tomorrow. Everything though revolves around this spike higher. We want to buy low and then get this price right back up. Now, where would I like to be a buyer down here? I'd like to come back and hit that prior day high. Just happens to be right around pretty much the only range we saw this morning. I would love to get this battle zone included with this rising support trend line. I mean, that would just be a dream come true if we could be buying down around that 49.80, 49.70 area. That would really be, right, our dream come true. And again, the target be back up to retest the high. So again, there's a couple different patterns we're looking for here tomorrow, right? At the very least, a trap low back up, right? Trap below that 50.06 in the short term. How about a failure, right? How about a seller failure? That's one of my favorites, right? Moving average comes over, bears try to sell it, right? Seller failure and back up to retest. Or maybe we get one of those elusive but very, very rewarding two-legged pullback, right? Trend line develops as we pull back, and we get a chance to use that trend line, both trend lines, right? This resistance trend line, right, along with this rising support trend line, right, to buy nice and low here for tomorrow. So watch out for that spike in channel, right? Buy low, spike in range, buy low, spike in flag, right? Buy low. Everything, of course, has one common theme, that is try not to be buying all the way up here at 50.40 tomorrow, right? Try to be buying right at a much deeper price. Now, obviously, this real strong spike up, this could go all the way back where we came from here, but what would it take for this market to turn bearish? Two things for me to qualify a trend reversal. One, strength. Two, hold a pullback. Boy, oh boy, that time flies when you're having fun. This video is like 2 hours long here right now. Thank you so much for being here with me all the way to the entire end. Don't forget, if you're watching the video right now on our YouTube channel, this is only a small snippet of the entire version of our newsletter, which is available on our website and on our blog. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube right now, there's a link in the description of that YouTube video. Follow that link. Come join me on the website at schooloftrade.com to learn more about our trading strategies. I get this question all the time. How do I learn more about what it means to be a member? What does it feel like to be in your trade room every day, right? What's included in the beginner, intermediate, and advanced membership? You can learn all that information on our website. Start by joining our free trial. I'll send you an invite to come out and join me in the trade room as a guest. Learn more about our beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels of membership. I really hope that I can have the opportunity, right, to share all this great, right, our great trading strategy, guys, as well. I have helped thousands of traders do this the right way in my teaching career, and there's absolutely no reason why you can't be successful, consistently profitable using this strategy as well. Guys, that'll do it here for me for now. Don't forget, I'm always here to answer all your questions. If you have any support questions, hit me up on live support on the lower right-hand corner of the website. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time, with all the advanced members in the trade room. If you're not a member, make sure you come back and see me again tomorrow night on the newsletter. Same time, same place. Be well out there. Be nice to each other, and be careful tomorrow. First of the month, right? That increase in volatility, right? It is real. Follow the plan, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios, amigos.